Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another session of our office hours. On today's agenda, we have mood boards. To be more specific, material and texture mood boards. I think that not everyone is creating mood boards for their projects, but I think that mood boards are very useful and they are very creative way to showcase the textures and materials we want to use in our project. When it comes to mood boards, I'm a fan of more minimalistic approach. I don't like mood boards where everything is on top of each other and you can't actually see the textures. That's why I think that if you're doing a large project where you use multiple textures and there's like there's a mix of them, I think you could do even multiple mood boards and then like group them um and so your clients are really able to see the idea and to see the textures, because when there's too many of them, especially when we're mixing colors or maybe mixing patterns, then sometimes it might be too much for the client, as we see that in a bigger picture. So we know that it will work together. But I think if you will drop a bomb, just to drop everything into one mood board, then I think sometimes that might be just a bit too much. Also, um, unless your client is a maximalist or a person that likes really like a quirky style, then I think it's better to keep it simple. We can always add layers with decor, with like soft furnishings, etc. But I think the base, it's better to keep it simple, muted. We could use stronger paint colors if we have to, or like so popular now, marble texture that will stand out, and then choose more muted materials for flooring or for kitchen cabinets. Yeah, so I think the simpler approach, the better result. Sometimes I think that when we are thinking too much and we want to add too much, then it just goes an opposite way. So yes. Um, so I will start with the first one, how to arrange textures, materials, and swatches effectively. So I will show you some of examples that I have in my files, and also I will go to Pinterest and I will just show you the examples of how mood boards can be created and how you can arrange texture materials. Hopefully at the end, I will have time to go to the mood boards and I will show you how quickly you can create a mood board in Foyr just by downloading some images. Now, when it comes to arranging textures and materials, let me go to Pinterest and I will leave it on this here. Hopefully you can see. So it's not about the colors. I know that you can see more like neutrals here, but I really love the approach now where we can mix materials fabrics, then textures with some um, physical or natural pieces like branches or like little bowls, as you can see here. You can do that in mood board software that is available on Foyr, but also if you're able to create physical mood boards and show them to your clients. So get samples, order samples, and then create a mood board so they can actually see it for themselves. They can touch it, they can feel it. Then that's a mood board in totally different level. So if you're able to do that, I would really say you should, because that's just more organic and more natural approach. So that will be great. Sometimes we can also create mood boards on like a bigger tray and organize all the samples that we have and then bring it to the client. If like, if you have contact with them. So that's another way, like, if, of like bringing physical samples to the client. And I think that's like, if there's opportunity, that's great. If not, then of course you can either create mood boards in your office, in your home, and like take a photo. Sometimes you can play with light, so like you can create some shadows on the mood boards, and again like add some natural materials, or like even things that you have at home, but they're like matching the overall mood and feel of the mood board. If not, then like then yeah, so you can take a photo and send it. But like if you're not able to do it, there's like there might be limitations in ordering samples, etc. Then you can simply upload images from internet and just create a mood board for like yourself in Foyr and send it to your clients. So when it comes to arranging textures, materials, and swatches, when you're doing it on the mood board, so there's like just a simple example. We'll do something similar quickly later on. I'll just check if yeah, okay, you should be able to see it. So you can choose a size of your mood board, like the first screen, when you're designing a mood board in Foyr, and we go through that. I will like take you step by step. But when it comes to arranging, we can like you can, as you can see here, not everything is like put on top of each other. I have like an inspiration photo for the kitchen, and then just a bit of textures. So like for my flooring, the marble, then adding the brass and the cabinet doors, and then we have the paint swatches. So like everything has its own place. We have like cabinets next to each other, and then the flooring that will like be next to the cabinet. So like the client can see the contrast or the lack of contrast, if there is like any between the cabinets and the flooring, and then adding all other textures like marbles, and if you're choosing black, metal, or chrome or brass, then like you can mix everything together and like put it up nicely and in a very aesthetic way. Now let me go back to the Pinterest, and we'll go to the create boards that reflect your project's tone and style. So let me just go back to this one. So if you have an inspiration of a space, because sometimes like you can do a mood boards after you create your project, or you can do that before, and I think before is a bit better option, because then when you're creating project, you actually know what kind of textures to use. So like you're not wasting time to redo it then. So first, look for inspiration photos when you have a brief with your client, and you're like coming, then you're going into conclusion what style you're going for. Then have some inspiration, send them to your client. If your client will decide on a few of them, then by using these inspirations, create a mood board. So like what colors they like, what patterns they like, if they want it to be more minimalistic or traditional, etc. And then you can start creating your mood boards. When you have your mood board ready, like always try to how to say it, like match it the best way possible with the like with the inspiration images provided. So like if your client, for example, will send you an image like this one and say that he's fine with like, I don't know, changing the texture of the floor, or like maybe adding a bit of contrasting color on one of the walls, then that's fine, do it. But if they will say that they literally want like a different kitchen, but with the same colors, with pretty much the same textures, then try to stick with it without like, creating a mess, and then like, your client at the end will be, not happy. If there are any suggestions that like, you could give to your client about like, if they don't want any contrasting color, but you think that it will work better, then you can create two mood boards. So create one mood board with everything that your client wants, and then create another one with your personal touches, just for them to see the difference. Like not all clients have imagination as interior designers do. As like, we usually go into the space and we see straight away, like, what can be done, or what colors will work, or what textures will work. And we know how to combine textures and patterns, etc., where clients usually don't, or like, they might think they do, but actually, like, well, that's what we're hired for, so we should have better idea about it. So like, if there's anything that like, that you want to change, or you want to suggest, but like, you don't want to interfere too much into what like, what they want, then I would suggest to create two mood boards. So create one for them with all like, the colors and patterns that they want, and then create another one with your personal touches, as I mentioned before. So like, if you want to use a contrasting color, or change a cabinet door, or you think that like a darker marble will work better, because like, you can already see the whole space finish, where here that's only like a fraction of like, of a full kitchen, so it's only like a fraction of a room. Then go ahead and do it, and don't be scared to do it, because your client might love it. If not, then that's like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of your time wasted. But like, at least like, you did say your say in it, and you'll be like, you'll be okay with yourself to continue then. Sorry. So try to reflect the project's tone and style. So like, when you decide on a style, then even like, for the images, for example, for the kitchen, if you're going for shaker style kitchen, and you're creating like a texture mood board, texture material mood board for the kitchen, try to add shaker style door. If you're going for a flat panel, add a flat panel, just like, just to not make any confusion. Stick with the tone. So with tone, when we're talking like, about your colors and all. So like, for example, even on this image here, we have like very neutral background, and then we build up the mood board, and like, added some even like a delicate colors, but the tone of the mood board is very calm and neutral, earthy. Yeah, so try to stick with it. So basically, stick with the brief when you're creating the mood board. Now, a master color coordination scale and visual balance. So now for that, we'll go back again to the Pinterest, because we have like, I think, the best ideas here. So as you can see, like the most of the time, the swatches or smaller size, we can use like one bigger one underneath. So for example, like in this one, we could use like a floor sample underneath, and then build up on the floor sample, like, the rest of the textures and materials that we'll use in a space. Or we can use a blank background, and then try to, create a mood board like that. I think that sometimes it's better to change the background color, and we can do that in Foyr. I'll show you how to do it without like, leaving it white. And like, maybe your client might not know if that's a background for the kitchen, like, for the room in general, or is it just a background for your, just for the mood board. So I think it's a nice idea to actually add some kind of background to the mood board and then build up the mood board on top of that. As you can see, sometimes we have like one or two bigger swatches and then we have a smaller ones. And I think that's just the way that works the best. If you will do just like, little swatches everywhere, then it will be hard to see them. And like I'm not like, I don't think if you will have that many textures to like, fit them on the mood board when you like, when they will be in a very tiny size. So play with the sizing. Even something like this one here looks great. From the bigger one to the smallest. So that's another form. Like that looks more like a 3D, that it's like, standing, like I'm sure that that's an image. So that might be harder to achieve on a mood board, but I'm sure that we could create something similar to that. Yeah, even in this one, as you can see, there's like in this one, there's actually loads of swatches, but because they are very similar in color and texture, it doesn't look too busy. It still looks nice and aesthetic. But I personally prefer when it's like, a bit less and like, just like bigger samples and a bit less going on the mood board. But that's again, that's my personal preference, and that's the way I do mood boards. And if you like more maximalist approach, then of course you can do it, or you can try to do one, more busy and then more like calmer, softer, and see which one actually will work better to present to your client. So yes, yeah. So as I mentioned, I really love the touches of like, like adding like a natural touch, like a branch or even like a stone or things like that. I think it just takes it to a bit of different level, and I think it shows that you actually, considered every texture, and yeah, and it just looks better. And as I mentioned before, if you have physical samples and your clients can touch it, that's even better and easier than to make up their mind, like, when they can actually touch it and see it. So now I will go to the mood board editor. We will start from scratch, and I will show you how easy, how you can speed up your process, and like how easy you can create the texture mood board. For the texture mood board, I don't think if you need like pricing, like, so like you don't have to add any details. I think images or okay. So that's why the process can be way faster. So okay, that's sharing. And now, so when you're in Foyr and you have an option to use mood boards, then you click on switch to mood board. Now you go with create new mood board. You can try templates if you want, but if you want to create your own mood board from scratch, then we go with create new mood board. Now, as I said, we can choose a canvas size. So just think like, of how many textures you want to fit and in what form you want to present them, and then choose the size of your project. Now we will give it a name, and let's go with maybe portrait one. And we click on start now. So we have it here. Now you can add multiple, so you can simply just add pages, new page, and then you can work on the first one, and then you can work on the second one as you want, or you can like create two or three separate ones. So just go back to the step one and create separate ones. Then we have a page color. So that's what I mentioned before. We can either add like full texture in the background, or we can change a page color, and then but that's what we will do at the end, because then we can match it with our mood board. So we'll see if the white background works best, or if actually different color will work better for our mood board. Now we have some items in the catalog, but I think that for especially material mood boards, the best way is to upload your own because here we have more like decorative pieces and furniture, etc. So yeah, so for your material and texture mood boards, upload your own textures materials from a website and then upload them here. So to upload them, the fastest and easiest way, we click on My Uploads, and now we click on Upload Image. We choose an image, and now we will choose our images. Yeah, so I can see that I have to redo some of them. Like remember that when you're saving your images, they need to be in JPG or JPEG or PNG file formats, because otherwise you won't be able to use them. So just give me a second and I will try to re-upload the ones that I have here. I checked them before and I was sure that they're fine, but we'll see if that will work. If not, then I will just use the ones that I have. Okay, let me try now. Okay, so I will just upload some in our mood board. Now you can have an image, as I mentioned before, of like, for your reference. As you can see, you can add multiple files. So if I will, let's say, add this to here, click on open, then both of them will be uploaded. So you don't have to do it one by one. So as you can see, that works pretty much fast. Now we can take all of these ones here. And I think I have a few more here. Okay. Okay. I think I have like two or three more textures and we're done. Okay, so we can start from whatever you want to choose for your base, and let's say that you want like two or three swatches to be the bigger size, then try to start with them. So for this one, we can, for example, choose the flooring for the bigger one. I will decide with this one. So we just click to add, and now we can resize it. So you can drag from all the directions. And if you have an image, for example, that has, I don't know, like a white background or something that you don't like, then you can simply click on crop and you can crop it to whichever size you want. And then you can simply use it. You can also rotate it if you need to. So if you want it to go the other way, then we can simply rotate it. So now I will use this image as like a bigger one, and we can put it, for example, here. Now we will go with the cabinet door. So I will add the cabinet door and I will make it a bit smaller. Not very, but just a bit smaller. Now, if you would rather to bring like, everything that you want to use on the mood board first and then work with like resizing it, etc., then you can do it. But I think it's like, it might be a bit too messy then. So like I rather to either do it one by one or like drop two or three and then see which one works best. So like I resize this one a bit because I think it is a bit too big. Okay, so we have this one now. And then we will start with our marbles. So I will add this one. And then I have ribbed one. This one will be smaller because that will be like only as a accent. So I will just resize it. And now I will resize also this one. And I will put it more here. And now this one, let's say I'll put it like that. Now we have some textures, so like linen textures, and I would like to add a touch of like a very light olive color. So I will add this one, and again, I will resize it. So I will make it a bit smaller. Now I will also add this one because I would like to use a texture that it's more neutral in color. So like we can either do something like that or like, work with it. So that's up to your own preferences. Now we'll take this one. And we can, let's say, add it here. Now you can choose which image go backward or go front. So for example, if you want to bring this one up front, then you can do it, or you can send it backward, and you can do that with each image. So you can work with it as well. Now for the paint swatch, you can upload the paint swatch and add it into an image, or we can create our own paint swatches, and I'll show you how to do it. Now I will add maybe this one. Now for the background, we can remove the background. So we click on remove the background, and now we will have just the bowl in the image. Now we can simply resize it. And I think that will be like a nice touch to add. And I also have an olive tree, but I'm not sure if that will work when I will remove the background. And because, yeah, that's not always works. So we can either skip it or try to leave it with the background. But I think we will just skip it for now. Okay, so we have this. I also have a rug texture, so we can add this one somewhere in the background as well. And now that's what I was saying about when you want to crop your image. So like instead of removing background, we can actually go to crop the image, and you can crop it so only your texture is visible. Then you're making sure that you have like a nice edges, because sometimes when we use the remove background, and then like, some of the edges, they look like they're like washed out. So yes, so you can use that. And we can try to move it here. Again, we can do it a bit bigger, and we can send it backwards. Okay, and now for the, I can push this one a bit down. Now for the paints, I will show you how you can create your own swatches. Now I will also add this one just to add a bit more interest and the brass texture that we'll be using. Like with these ones, you won't be cropping them. Like you can still crop, if it's too big to if like, if you want to crop it, you can do that. But like we won't be cropping it without deleting the background. So like I have to delete the background for this one because you won't be able to crop it so you don't see the white background. Okay, so we have something like that. And now for the swatches. You can either use your own, or we can go to Color Wizard and we can create our own palette. So we go to create my own palette, and now we click on plus and we simply choose the hue, and then we can start adding colors. So let's say that we'll start with this one. Now we have number 2 can be a bit darker. You don't have to do 5. You can do less, of course. And now the 4th one, I will try to, it's like a natural, like an olive, but still in more like a neutral tone. Okay. Now, when we have it, we can add it to Canva, and now we can choose our design elements. So just be sure that if you have 4 colors, you need to search for the design elements with 4 swatches. So you can choose which one you like the best. Let's do this one, and now add to canvas. And as you can see, we have it here. And now we can move it up, and we can leave it like that. So that will be material mood board. And now for the background, we can go with the change page color. And again, we can try to choose different background. Which I think will work a bit better. Just so all your textures are visible, of course. But I think it works a bit better than like a very white one. Okay. So now, if you have any questions, I'm here to try and answer them the best as I can. So we simply upload images and then drag and drop them on the mood board and your mood board is ready. Like this one is very simple one. Like, I did it in a few minutes, but of course you can like, elevate more and like, find more textures, etc. And yeah, and you can work with that. Hilda, can I import my own colors to the color wizard? As far as I know, no, but you can create your own swatches as a images. So for example, even when I had something like this one, so let's say that I will delete this one and I will use this one instead. Or you can simply upload swatch by swatch. Sometimes on a website, on like retailer website, you can find like a really nice swatches of paint, like the images, and then you can upload them and add them into your project. Any other questions? Shalini, can we create shapes, insert textures in different shapes? Um, I'm not sure if I get, like, for example, like a not square or rectangle. Yes. So you would have to upload an image. For example, if you want your, I don't know, flooring sample to be hexagonal or triangular, then you will have to upload it as a shape like that. Because otherwise, like, we can only crop it and resize it. So we're not able to cut out the shape. So like all my images, they were square or rectangles, so you can only resize them and crop them. You're not able to change the shape of the image that you're uploading. Has anyone tried the mood boards before, or are you working with mood boards? Um, often. Sheila, how does the shopping list work? So for the shopping list, that works a bit different. So like here, we only have samples. But for example, if you would like to create a shopping list out of it, so for example, add a price for the flooring or add a price for marble per square meter or square foot, etc. Then you go to, first you have to go to the retailer website and then you click on the image and you click on edit products. And now you can Now you can enter the item title, then you can enter the vendor name, then vendor link. So you will just go to the website and copy the link. Then you will add a price for that. And you can click on a category that it is from, and then you can even add description and click on update. And then let me open some of the mood boards that have um, not sure if I have any that has details. Hmm. Let me try with this one. Yes. So for example, for this one, like I have details, and then you can see the total price in the top right corner. And then when you go to shopping list in the top center of your screen, then you have all the items. So when you have added the information to the items, then you all have it here. So we have product image, details, description, quantity, unit price. Then we have total price, and then we have link to shop. You can also go to client settings and you can choose which of the categories you want to have visible for your client. So for example, you can hide description, you can hide quantity, or you can hide price or shopping links. And then you can upload that and email that to your clients. Also, when you're creating your mood board, so when you're going to my uploads and uploading images, then you upload them without the information. So without the vendor name, without the link, without the price, etc. You can add it as I showed you. So you just click on the product, go to edit, and you add it. But if you want to add the information straight away to each of the images that you're uploading, then you can go to your catalog, and from here you can add images. So from here you click on upload now, and if you will click on the image and click on the image and click on open, then you will be asked straight away to add all the details. So you can do that straight up. But like, if you don't need that for all of them, just for, you can still click on cancel, but like if you want to add it straight away, then you can do it here. But if you want to, like, for example, if you will finish your mood board and then you're thinking that, like, that okay, I can add some of the pricing, like, for the client, then simply click on on any image, go to edit, and add all the information. Hilda, can I add text to the mood board? Yes, of course you can add text to the mood board. So to add text to the mood board, we go here to text, and now you can add heading, subheading, paragraph. Then we have some types to choose from. So for example, we can do something like that. Now you can click to view all and choose a different font, and from here you can also do that. So you can choose a font, and from here you can change the size, so you can make it smaller or bigger. Then you can use the bold, the italic, or underline, and you can either center it or move it to left or right. You also can update the color of the text. So just simply click on it and type whatever you want. Then you can rotate it and you can resize it and put it whatever you want on your mood board. So you're able to do that as well. Sheila, what's the advantage of having this particular mood board platform versus others? It's, like you have everything within one software. And like, it's so easy to use it. So you can just upload images and you can create shopping lists straight away. So I think that the best advantage is that you have everything in one place. And so you're only paying once, and you have it all. And you don't have to go through software to software to, for example, search for your mood boards in another software and then go for the project to your previous software. So yeah, we have, like, you have everything in one space. Do they merge together? Well, you have to switch in between your projects and your mood boards. So you have it in, like, when you're logging into your Foyr Neo, then you can switch between Neo and then switch to mood boards. Any other questions? Anything that I can help you with? Um, I noticed that the mood board was capturing some of my clients. Sheila, can you elaborate on that? How did it capture? Does it capture the project? I'm not sure. I didn't have anything like, I did few of the mood boards, but it never had anything to do with the project that I did in Neo. So you can you can upload for example, you can download the render from the Neo and then you can use it as a image, as an inspiration image on your mood board. But yeah, no, it doesn't capture the projects. No worries. You're welcome. Any other questions regarding mood boards? You can hear my dog here in the background. Always here, always by my side. So, Buskorn, thank you, Magda. Have a great weekend. You too, Buskorn. Thank you so much. Enjoy yours. Thank you, Hilda. Thank you all for participating, being here. Thank you.